So why have we got into this point? Because you'd say that things are more globalized than they ever have been before, but the average worker isn't benefiting. Is that just because companies have had too much power, or I guess what has shifted from that period that you studied?
You know, this is a question that preoccupies me a lot. I grew up in the 1950s, and I would say in the 50s we had a relatively healthy capitalism, but not perfect. There were also restrictions on trade and patents and so forth. But we've moved into an economy where governments think, or that the problem is market-oriented economies, such as Milton Friedman was, no longer exist. All the economies, one way or the other, are interventionists. They say this should be done, the government should do that, and so forth and so on. They're always interventions. I'm, of course, against any intervention. And not intervention also means that you have a capitalistic system. And I want to reiterate what I said for a long time and repeatedly. Capitalism involves pain. There are lots of people that go bankrupt in capitalism. And in capitalism, you have recessions. Once you have a government that doesn't want to accept recessions, and each time the economy slows down, increases government spending and prints money, you avoid near-term pain, but you produce much more pain in the long run. And the recession, traditionally during recessions, unemployment went up, and then wages went down, and then employment picked up again. But now what happens is that nominally wages do not go down, but because of the money printing, the prices go up more than the wages. And so in real terms, inflation adjusted, the standards of living of people is going down. Anyway, I mean, if someone is interested about really capitalism and what society looks like in a capitalistic system, it's a very good book, Capitalism, Socialism, and Democracy by Schumpeter. That I recommend to everyone. This is very interesting. And it also explains why capitalism leads to socialism, partly because of the jealousy and the envy of the academics at universities, because they hate to see someone who has no education and makes a lot of money, whereas they consider themselves to be the elite. Intellectually, they make nothing. So anyway, here we are, and this is my view. I think the investment markets are uninteresting and interesting. Uninteresting because some markets are overvalued, in the FANG stocks, the Magnificent Seven, and so forth. And by definition, if something is overvalued, by definition, something is undervalued. So you have to go and buy the undervalued assets, but the undervalued assets are neglected, and that's why they're cheap, but they don't move. And so they stay cheap for a while until they move. They suddenly will move. And so I'm looking at these undervalued assets around the world.